Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tarda Zone's Movie Zone. And again, as usual, when I play the trailers, we're having a bit of technical difficulties because I got the camera, the mic, this computer is just not great. But I hope you are all well. I hope you had a great start to the new year so far. And yeah, we're here to watch the movie Fast Girls. And let's see now if I can actually get the camera working, which would be great. So let's see. There we go. We're here. Yay. About time. Anyway, I'm here and I'm joined by two guests. So let's bring on our first guest. It's the one and only Lee.
Hello.
Nice
Good to
to
be
see
here.
you. To
Thank you
see
very
you.
much.
Nice to have you on board. And of course, our very special guest, director, writer, actor Noel Clarke.
Hi guys.
Hey.
Hi everyone.
And we're
Hello,
back.
hello,
And
hello.
as I said, as you can see scrolling across the screen there, we've got all the links to where you can rent the movie, YouTube, Google Play, and I think it's on Apple as well. And the links to all and all Clarke's social medias are also in the link description of the live stream. I hope you're feeling better and all. Yeah, my stomach was just a little bit ropey last night.
Was
Chris
that you? I thought they
lost
were
his
talking to you, eh?
yeah, talking
The
to
two
me. Yeah,
Noels.
2-0.
Problematic.
Um, yeah, and Chris couldn't talk, so he wasn't in any state, and of course, then Lee was kind of a bit tired, so we said we just put it off and all rest for the night. So we're here. Yeah, I'm all right now. I was able to eat something. It's one of those, I don't know, every winter you get those little stomach bugs and stuff going around. That's all. It's 24 hour thing. It's
It's
horrible.
called eating too
It's
much over
horrible.
Christmas.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's exactly what it is. I think it's the body just telling me I need to stop eating. Actually, probably. Anyway, we are here for Fast Girls. It's a movie, obviously, that you were in, Noel, and it was
Yeah.
your choice for this stream. Can you tell everybody why you chose this movie? Actually,
Well, I love the movie. The producer, I worked with a few times, and when we were doing Kidulthood, he said to me he wanted to do this movie, and would I write it? And then no one really kind of wanted to do it. And then obviously when the Olympics got announced, he came back round. He's like, "Listen, I want to do Fast Girls. Do you want to write it?" And I was like, 100%. I was pretty busy writing other stuff as well. So we got this other writer called Jay Basu, and Jay and I literally would go to his flat in Leicester Square, just around Leicester Square area, and we would just sit down and write it. And then I think once we were done, it went off. It started getting set up, and then a couple of other people did some little passes on it. But you know, the truth is, it's Jay and I wrote the script to the point where it was getting made before it got touched up a bit. And then I play the coach, and there's some big stars in this. Lily James, this was her first movie, massive star. Lashana Lynch, massive star now.
yeah, she was recently in James Bond, the latest James Bond movie, wasn't she? Yeah.
Yeah. So she's in Brotherhood as well. She's in Bulletproof season 1, like and then she really popped. She's in loads. She's an amazing woman. Dominique Tipper as well, who's in the sci-fi show The Expanse. She kind of comes into this like a lot. So basically, the point is,
She's
this was
great.
a lot of these girls. Yeah, this was a lot of these girls' first movie.
Yeah.
And
I was watching
it
the
was a
behind the scenes footage. They trained very hard for this as well. They
yeah,
did. They actually did
yeah,
proper
yeah,
training.
yeah. Most
Like
of
I
them,
was,
most of them.
yeah,
One of them, who
I
shall
was
remain nameless, didn't.
right. But I have to say, the footage that I seen, I said the girls that did do the training put a lot
Yeah,
into it.
they were put through their paces. But we can talk about that as we go through. So let's
Right.
do the thing when we.
Yeah, Lee, do you want to? So if everybody in the chat is ready, you know what to do. Press 1 so we know that we can get going on this movie. And then what we'll do then is we will do the countdown.
And you're gonna say go, right? We go on the go, yeah? 3, 2, 1,
Yeah,
go.
we go on the go.
Go on the go.
We go on the
Go on the
go.
go.
We go on the
Alright,
go.
cool.
Come on, guys, give us a 1 in the chat. Let us know you're on board.
Well,
you're
I have it
awake,
on
you're with
slow.
us.
I have it on slow mode tonight because I just want to be extra careful because always in our fandom there's always a little bit of drama, so we won't get into it. But yeah, so there, one's
There we
good
go.
enough. That the legend has spoken. So
That's
once
it.
he's in there and he says one, it's go. So go for it, Lee.
Okay, so here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're off.
There we are.
Right.
Yeah. Can I just sit here and not talk about his movies? No, thank you, Ty, this time. So yeah, Studio Canal. So interestingly, straight off the bat, let's get into this shit. I don't give a I just talk about what
No, you
what
don't.
is. We had a film with Studio Canal called Something in the Water. I believe it's still being made. That was greenlit at the time my thing happened. And they just kicked us all off. Off. No questions asked. No questions. Booted us all off. Took the movie. And I think they still made it. I think they're still making it. Something in the Water. So when you see it come out, just know. But yeah, so this was directed. This is directed by a guy called Regan Hall, who was a lovely guy, brilliant director. I'm not sure what he's still doing now, but he was picked. He was picked because the producer Damien Jones really wanted to find an up and comer, and they found someone who'd done, he'd done music videos and whatnot, and so picked him. And I think he done a great job, to be honest. And there's me. So this is, cutting with footage, and the girls really did train with athletes. They were taken to the athletes training camps and all this kind of stuff. We were down there on days, and they were put through their paces for 6 or 7 weeks. And I mean, they came out with muscles, abs. They lost. I think, these are the girls that were looking good anyway and didn't necessarily need to lose weight. Like, it wasn't one of those things, the old rumors you get that, in the industry, you have to lose weight. Yeah, there you go. There's my name there. Noel, Clarke, Basu. It wasn't that, but I reckon they all lost about 1.5 stone. They turned up with 6 packs and fucking it was unbelievable. But no one can ever say that they didn't put in the work. But it shows, now you see 3 of them are massive stars. Dominic. Well, actually, to be fair, Dominique is like the 5th girl in this. You'll see later in the movie she turns up because of something else that happens, which I don't want to spoil for those who haven't seen it. But in terms of the original 4, Lorraine Burrows is doing all right. Lily James is a huge star. So one of the biggest stars in the world. Lashana Lynch is now one of the biggest stars in the world. And all I can say to that is that they work. Like, I can't ever say that they never did hard work, because they played runners in this and they busted their ass and trained for 7 weeks.
Yeah.
And lost like pounds, kilos. Do you know what I mean? And became athletes.
Dominique Tipper is so good in The Expanse.
Yeah.
I just wish there was more of it.
Yeah. Well, it's on Amazon now, isn't it? Didn't it get picked up again?
I think that, they did 5 series, and then it was
that's right,
cancelled or whatever. But I think I think they're bringing it back later on. Like, it's going to be a time. I don't know if she's going to be in it, but I hope so.
Right. So, I mean, I don't really want to disparage people, but this actress had a running double. Not everybody put in as much work as everybody else, and it was a shame, to be honest. But some people had ran for themselves, and some people had running doubles.
So there's a bit of a commitment issue there somewhere.
Well, I'm not, I didn't say that. We're talking about the movie. I'm just talking about it is what it is, right?
I suppose, though, if you want to connect with the character and, the character you're playing, it wouldn't be a bad idea to, put in the extra bit of work because it come out in your
Mindset.
performance and and they have that mindset.
I agree. I think because when you don't prepare properly, then things can go wrong, and definitely there was a couple of injuries from people that didn't prepare, and the people that had prepared and worn their spikes and ran for weeks didn't get injured.
Well, that's it. If you don't limber up and you don't put the work in, then how can you expect to put across a realistic performance? And you're just putting yourself at risk.
Well, there you go. So, I mean, I think this was really, the film was really to show how a lot of the athletes you see just come from regular working class backgrounds. Athletics is like a lot of sport for people is a way out. And so that's kind of really what we wanted to set up. They live on the estate, and the people around them aren't necessarily nice, but you know what it's like. It happens in every country in the world. Some kid gets out of the area due to sport. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then it's escape from poverty. For a lot of people.
Then you got like this girl who's groomed for it. Look, born to run. The parents run, trophies, marks off all the schedules. Qualifiers here. Dad was a runner. Do you know what I mean? You get, there's always that. So the film became a sort of, not like a Mean Girls, but a battle between the entitled one that is the number one, and then this new kid that has to learn the ropes. Do you know what I mean?
It's a good underdog story then.
Yeah.
I like a good underdog story.
And also, back in 2012, when it's so weird sitting here in the position I am, being called all these fucking disgusting things when, like, I'm such an ally. I'm so into equality, and so I always have been. I was tweeting about period. You could probably still find it. I was tweeting about period poverty when my friends were still laughing, like making jokes about dodging their wives for a week. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've been such an ally. Do you know what I mean?
It's always the allies they go for the hardest, really. We've seen it with John, we've seen it with Sophia, we've seen it with.
It doesn't make you perfect. Do you know what I mean? But ally. So my point being is, this film is a film in 2012 with 4 female leads.
Yeah.
In 2012. That's still barely done now in this country. You could probably count the films on one hand since then that are full of female leads. And one of the others would be 4321 2 years before this, which is my movie.
Yeah, I like that movie.
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite.
That's a clever movie.
That's my favorite, I think.
Yeah, good movie. Very good.
I actually wrote that. I wrote 4321 before I wrote Adulthood, actually.
Did you?
And no one wanted to do it, though. It's like 4 girls. No one wanted to do it. And then I had to write Adulthood. And when the Adulthood blew up, and then they were like, oh, what else you got? I was like, oh, got this new thing here. Have a look at that. You know what I mean? But this, again, look, you got a movie where you're consistently told that we were told back then that female films wouldn't work, and the only reason that they really went for it was because it was sport and the Olympics was coming, or we probably wouldn't have got it done. But so you got that. It's like 4 female leads in 2012. So I don't think people kind of really thought about what a big deal it was at the time.
Ahead of the curve.
I mean, I think if I'm honest, at the risk of being what I'm accused of as well, which is everything, arrogance, everything, it's like 100%. You think about the films I've done, they were always ahead of the curve.
Mm-hmm. Well,
when Kidulthood was done, nobody was doing that stuff.
No.
Well, the part of its success is, you're tapping into a bubbling zeitgeist that's happening on the cusp. It's bringing it to the mainstream.
Not always. The thing about it is, if I said it was always a plan, I'd be lying, because then you have to be really tactical and go, oh, let me sit down and brainstorm what's not out there. It wasn't. Instinctually, as a fan of films and TV, I know what I want to see. And
Yeah,
It
but
was
that's
edgy too, though. It was edgy too. That's the thing. I don't really mainstream. I hate that word, really. To be quite
well, you know
honest
what I
with
mean.
you.
People respond to authenticity. You know, if it's
True.
coming from the right place, it doesn't have to be engineered. I mean, a lot of stuff today is engineered,
Yeah,
but
yeah, that's the problem.
clearly,
Yeah,
this clearly is ahead of the curve because it's honest. You know,
yeah,
it's
Yeah.
only after that people contrive these things and
That's
they
right.
create
That's right.
really bad representations of
yeah.
female characters, and to say,
that's
oh,
right.
it's a female lead, but it's not really authentic, and people sniff that out.
Because you're just trying to do it to tick your boxes or to go,
Yeah,
oh, I
exactly.
know what
rather
people
than
want.
actually put thought and thought and creativity behind that character. Character development nowadays is a luxury.
Yeah.
When you're watching TV and movies now, it is actually a luxury. It's the same with good story. It seems to be all sacrificed, and they think great CGI and lots of action can disguise all of that. But we're very, as consumers, we're very smart. We know what we like. As you
100%.
said, you know what you can feel what the audience likes. Sure, nobody was doing what you were doing.
No.
You
But
tapped
that's what
into
kind
that.
of made Bulletproof work. A lot of people think, oh, the budget and the action and the stunts. Yeah, that's all great. But it was really the cops, how funny they were, just sitting in the car talking to each other, or my character talking about trainers, or Ashley's character talking about his wife and kids.
Yeah,
That's what made the show work. Do you know what I mean?
exactly. You need that. You need all of that, though,
Am I a
because
fan
it's
of track and field? Yeah, I love track and field sports. Scottish Davros and friends wrestle with pop culture. I love track and field. I always watch the Olympics. I kind of swerve, with so much content these days, I'll swerve like world championship. No, maybe not world championships. I might swerve the lesser competitions, but I'll always watch the Olympics.
You don't have to call Scottish Stavros and friends wrestle. It's a bit of a mouthful.
I know.
Just call him legend.
Just
call him legend.
Fine.
Call him legend.
I was just doing it. But I do like track and field, and I'll always watch the Olympics. And I'm a person with not fucking bow and arrows, not archery, but I'm a person, I'll try watch every sport.
Yeah.
So when Olympics came, I'm watching swimming. I'm watching.
Yeah, I like the swimming myself, the Olympic swimming, because it's exciting, isn't it?
I tell you what this is another thing, another bit of insight into everything that happened, right? After all that shit happened, man, I found it very difficult to watch the Olympics. I found it difficult to watch swimming, gymnastics, because they made me feel that I was looking at women in the wrong way.
Yeah.
They made me feel weird. So I found it hard to watch the swimming when they're in the little costumes, because they're swimming, and what if your eye catches what if your eye catches the bum when they get, you think, oh my God, what am I? And they fucking gaslit me. They made me think wow. So
it's horrible. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I had a hard time watching that, because I was like, I'm trying to watch it for the sport, but then if someone does the high jump and your eye catches the bottom, you think, did I do that on shit? Did I do that on purpose? Did my eye just glance at, do you know what I mean? I was losing my mind, mate. Losing my mind. Oh, look, I had hair back then. Look at that. I had hair back then, man. Look at that.
Yeah. I know, man.
It looks like I still got it, but actually it's a lot further back than it was then. It was down here. Look at that small forehead. That's like 3 fingers now. It's like 8.
It must be mad looking at yourself on screen, seeing how much younger you were back then. I'm not saying you know what I mean. You look older but it is weird when you look back at yourself, isn't it? I've done the same.
Look at the stars there. Look at Lashana, Lily, and Dominique in the same. Look at the stars there, mate. Look at that. If you got that cast now, look at it, right? Boom, there. You got that cast in a film now, mate. Your film's making millions.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's madness, isn't it?
Obviously, this is the part where she first, you saw her qualify earlier. Now she gets to go to the GB training camp, and that's going to be, because a relay team always has 6, right? So you have the 4 and the 2 spares,
right?
So that's the 4.
So they're competing to see who's going to be in the 4s, and then who's obviously the pairs. Yeah. In
case someone gets injured. So Dominique Tipper's character, as you understand, is actually a spare, and Lorraine Burrows on the table is the 4th. So it's Lashana, Lily, Lorraine, and this new girl that Leonora's playing. And then obviously, you know, I won't say what happens. But you know, that Bradley James guy, I think he was in Doctor Who as well at some point, wasn't he? Or he was in did he do an episode of Doctor Who once? Or he was in Musketeers, wasn't he, or something like that? Bradley James, I think.
She's
but so
not
we
here to make friends.
eh?
She says, "I'm not here to make friends."
Yeah. Good mentality though, man. Like,
Yeah, it is the way to be.
be polite, but remember they want to take your spot, so just train.
That's it.
And they were great, man. I mean, as I said, it was Lily's first movie, and they were great. Like, I think everyone was kind of excited. Everyone was kind of like still green. I mean, look at them. Look how young they are. You know what I mean? You don't always know you're looking at one of the biggest movie stars in the world at this point.
No.
And we just got on great, man. We got on great. You know.
Yeah, I was watching the red carpet interviews as well, because that's what I did that's what I did for this movie. I watched some of the behind the scenes and the red carpet interviews, and obviously the girls were being interviewed, and they were talking about how they had a great time. Some of the girls were talking about how hard they trained.
Yeah, they did
stuff like that. But it looked like everybody they said it was a fun movie to make. The interviews that I seen, so
it was great, man. And I mean, I don't know what to say. It's one of those ones where you know, me and Lily were mates. You know, I've seen her a few times after this, but of course now she probably wouldn't speak to me because of what they've said. Do you know what I mean? Because of what they've done. Because of what they've done, she probably would have agents and all that around there that would just be like, stay away from him. So these people just fucked up. They fucked up so much. It's unreal. It's unreal. I can't even, literally friends that now will have to protect their shit won't probably me because they fear that if they're seen with me and the narrative is written. Do you know what I mean? It's not a small thing they've done life-wise, and look, this film, to be honest, this film doesn't reinvent the wheel. It is your classic sort of mean girl, sort of like someone new, Rocky. It's Rocky, basically, isn't it? New person joins a thing. You're not know sure they're gonna make it, and then they kind of, without spoiling it, they kind of start doing well. Do you know what I mean? Look at Tommy there. So literally with this sort of stuff, it was just asking the athletes, like, what would I say to them? And she says, this is what you'd say, and then repeating it. So some of this stuff here wasn't always scripted per se. It was just like, right, what would I say? This is what you'd say. And then I would just say that. Yeah. As casually as possible, trying to look like I knew what I was doing as a coach. And it was the athletes that told us about the down pass and the up pass. So in relays, you'll see a lot of the teams will come and they'll pass the baton like that on the down pass, which is what most people do. But if you get the right stride and you get the right flow and your arms are in sync, you can do the up pass. And that is, if you get an up pass, it's so smooth, you can probably gain half a second, which can be the difference between a win and a loss in a 4x1 relay. Do you know what I mean?
I remember when I was in a relay race at school, we were in fourth place. I was in fourth place, and then I ran my ass off, and I got us up to second place, and I passed the baton to the fastest kid in the school, and we won. I was like, yeah, that was so good.
Didn't Lily James date Matt Smith? No comment, mate. No, I can't comment on that because if you Google who she's dated, so I won't comment on that.
Try not ask any questions like that. If there's any questions in
relation,
I'm not offended that. I know you're not, but I'm just you have to be careful. But if there is any questions in relation to the movie. If you are watching with us, go ahead and throw them in.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch asks, Noel, do you value a fun environment in the workplace when making a movie? I should hope so.
I mean, you've been told different, but generally, yeah. I mean, like most people, it's one of those things where, you know, I'm a very straight down the line guy. You're supposed to be at work at 9 o'clock. Come to fucking work at 9 o'clock. Like, you're supposed to give the blue socks, spring blue. I've said that before. I'm a down the line guy,
Yeah,
which is
you're right. There's a
people,
lot of money. There's lots of money. I don't think people
you know what?
realize
It's
there's
not
lots
just
of
about
money.
money, no, though.
I know it's
just
not,
about
but
money,
it's your rep
It's the
as well,
fucking-
isn't it? Though it's your
Well,
rep
not
on the
even that,
line,
man.
and
Yeah, but it's not even that. It's basic standards, isn't it? Like, do you know what I mean?
no, you're
It's
right.
basic
Yeah,
standards, right? You come to work on time, learn your shit, know your fucking lines, right? I'm a basic, you know, I'm pretty cool like that.
well,
in
that's
terms
what
of
you're taught in school, isn't it? That's what you're.
Right.
That's why you go to school, prepares you for all of that, to be on
Exactly. But
time,
in
punctual,
terms of-
and
in
Well,
terms
it's
of what
respect for all
Cinnamon's-
your peers, you know,
Exactly,
respect for
yeah.
everyone else.
So in terms of what Cinnamon's saying is, I do have those standards, but generally any set that I'm on or that we've been on and that our company worked on, despite what you've been told, is full of fun,
Yeah.
and like we go out of our way to, you know, not trying to brag, but like, you know, we'll get donut trucks in, we'll get like coffee trucks, you know, crepes, you know, so, you know, you obviously there's catering and people enjoy the catering, but like, you know, we might just go, you know what, let's get them donuts today. And then suddenly like 15 boxes of donuts will turn up, or a crepe van, or pizzas, or whatever like that. And so we always try to have fun and look after the crews that we work with. That doesn't mean that working with people for 6 months or 8 weeks, 14 hours a day, every day, isn't going to get tense at some points. It doesn't mean that everyone's going to be like flawlessly, impeccably behaved at every point. People fall out, people argue, people have relationships, whatever. But generally, any sets that I've been on have been fun. And as I said, until that fucking hit piece came out, I never had a complaint in my life about anything.
Yeah.
So it was, you know, that made it odd. And particularly, like, you would think that, you know, if I was doing what I was doing, I would have tried it on Lily James, wouldn't I? I mean, wouldn't I? Do you know what I mean? No one mentioned there because it would never happen, because it didn't happen. Do you know what I'm saying? So, you know, you just got to kind of, as the coach is watching the research in the other teams. I shouldn't laugh at my own performance, but I find it quite funny because, you know, I just would say to them, well, how do you research the other teams? And they'd be like, we just sit there, watch footage over and over again. Oh, there you go, look. That. So, sorry, it's the down pass gives you the extra additions.
Because it's very risky, bigger chance of dropping a stick.
Yeah, but if it's faster.
Look, those girls have been together.
So it's the down pass that gives you the extra second, which is standard now. So that's a nice setup there. That thing when he goes there, goes, if you get the down pass, it's like silk, right? It seems like such a small moment, but actually that's a setup. And he says it a few times more in the movie, and then it becomes something quite an emotional moment. I tell you, this is the only film that I've been involved with or that I've written where when I'm watching it, there's a moment near the end when I still feel like I can cry. Like there's a moment at the end when it, like, no matter, even though I was there when I typed those things, the way that the director did it with the music and the moment and all that, I find myself welling up like each time. Like, bloody hell, what the fuck's wrong with you? You wrote this. Like, you know what's going to happen. You were there when they put the words on the page. But to his credit, you know, the director did a job where, you know, there's moment. Oh yeah, he was Bradley James was King Arthur and Merlin, not Musketeers. But there's a moment where it just happened. You'll see the moment. I'll tell you the moment. If I'm not bawling with tears, I'll be able to tell you the moment. You'll see. Look, you can see Lashana's a star there, really. And interestingly, here's an interesting tidbit. I had a conversation with her on set one day where I said to her, like, in the long term, you're going to be the biggest star out of all these people. And I can't remember if she was feeling that. I don't remember what happened. I don't remember if there was anything, but I said to her, like, don't worry about it. Like, in the long term, you're gonna play more characters. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. And she's amazing. And I was lucky enough to work with her. She came and did Brotherhood, as I said. She came and did Bulletproof. She's just amazing. Like, I can't really knock her work. I think
she has a certain
everything.
intensity to her, you know.
Oh man, there is an intent. She's smart. She is there's a sort of a. She's fun.
She's got a smokiness to her. You know?
There's a don't fuck with me vibe. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
She's smoky. She's smoky.
Let me say this, right? What date? What's the date today? It's 9th of January. No, 7th of January. I reckon she wins an Oscar within the next 5 years.
Well, you heard it here first, folks.
Well, I reckon. Yeah, I reckon 5 years. She'll win one. Is my prediction. So you got to save this. You got to save this now.
Put a wager on that.
5 years.
Hey,
yeah. Oh my God, I don't even gamble, but might go down to see if any bookies is willing to take that bet.
Yeah, you should try that, because remember, they might think they're in odds because it'd take a year to make a film, so she probably only get 5 or 6 films in that time.
Yeah.
Not all of them are going to be contenders, right? So then you got to figure a bookie might go, you probably only got 2 chances in that 5 years, and then she still has to get through all the nominations. Like, so they might take that, but I reckon 5 years. So yeah, you can see the new girl's coming to this champagne thing. She doesn't really know what to do, but she tries to fit in and do that. Yeah. And I think this is a moment where the girls start to connect a little bit more. And I think the girls really like this day because they got to dress up. That sounds very sexist. I don't mean it in a sexist way, but they were in tracksuits. Excuse me, because of the type of film it was. They were in tracksuits and skimpy little outfits the whole time. So the day they got to kind of dress up, I think, was like they liked it. Does that sound any less sexist? It's not supposed to be sexist.
That sounds real to me.
You know what you get called these days? I get fucking called everything. So, but you know what I mean? I feel like they felt nice dressing up on that day.
Yeah. To say that they wouldn't enjoy that would be just a lie,
I don't know what you can say then. Can you say girls like to dress up, or is that sexist?
Yeah, you can. If anybody has a problem with that, get
a lot of people have a fucking problem with it, man. They should all fuck off, but they do.
Listen, my wife likes
you're
to
a man.
get
You're not allowed to. You're not allowed an opinion.
No, but no, seriously, Cheryl, my wife likes. There'll be a day where she'll just feel like crap, but she'll want to dress up nice and put a bit of makeup on and do her hair. It actually like cheers her up. Like, it's something all women do it. Get away. I don't know what's wrong with society nowadays. People are just goddamn too serious. Will you leave it out, man? Not everything is sexist. Not everything is. I mean, even chivalry has gone out the window because you're not allowed to open doors for women anymore, or pull out the chair for them, or be a gentleman. If you're being a gentleman, you're a creep or something. Heck off, man. Get away.
To be fair, Noel, if you pulled my chair out and said, "There you go, there," I'd be fuck off, man. You creep. I'd just get out of it.
Seriously, man. Still to this day, when me and the wife go out, 100%. I still do it. I open the door for her and I do 100%. Pull out a chair, man. 100%. No, 100%. Nothing wrong with being nice.
100%. I do that as well. And
exactly.
Open the door, put out the chair. Always do that. Pour her a drink when the bottle comes if you want.
That's it.
So I got you, babe. I do that. I put all of that stuff.
Same here, man. Mrs. gets the beer. Do you want a beer? Yeah, I'll pour your beer for you. Give us it.
Now here we go to. I think where do they go to? Are we going to Amsterdam or something like that?
Amsterdam.
I think I look younger now, to be honest. Is that a weird thing to say? Maybe not with the thick beard. but So here, I think we go to Amsterdam. I don't think we actually went anywhere. Some
You
films
don't remember going to Amsterdam, then you were probably in Amsterdam.
No, no, I don't do any of that stuff. I don't. Unfortunately, or fortunately for me, I mean, can you imagine if I did? I don't remember. I don't do it. Where is it? Is it Amsterdam? No, it's not Amsterdam. Is it? Where is it? Spain. See, all of this here is stock footage, right? This stadium is the Olympic Athletes Training Center outside of London. So it's not actually Spain. So we didn't actually go to Spain.
No.
Didn't go to Spain at all. All of this was sort of fake. I now think like you wish you kind of could, because when you do the stock footage, because it's beautiful how they make it like you're really in Spain, but you think now when you do the stock footage that, you know, it'd be good to see them in some of the shots to kind of show that the girls were there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But obviously at the time, I guess we didn't have the budget, or maybe they were just like, we don't actually need to go. And so we didn't go to Spain.
There we go. Noel Clarke ruining the magic for us as we speak.
That's why it was written as an indoor stadium, right? Because they were like, we didn't have to see the sun. She's sick.
She's hungover.
Yeah, exactly. And what's her name's happy about it.
Mm-hmm. And she is happy about it. That one. Who did it?
And the Shana's like, oh, what's going on here?
She doesn't like it. Oh dear.
Good instincts, though. I mean, also, you know, all these bits here is just sort of like instinctual, because I don't think we were like, oh, she's putting lipstick on in the mirror. Do you know what I mean? So it's stuff that they would have done. Her numbers falling off there, which doesn't look too good, actually. I probably, if I was shooting this film now, I wouldn't have. I know she puts it on, but I wouldn't have had it hanging down because it kind of looked weird. Do you know what I mean? But you can see the director, like, he's composed it pretty well. You know, for me now, I would leave a little bit more space at the top of the head, just so you don't cut off her hair in the frame. Like, even her there, she's a bit close to the top. But, you know, all this stuff here that he shoots is brilliant. Like, you really get the feeling of, like, the tension of, like, what's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? I think he did a really good job. Don't know what he's doing at the moment. Regan Hall, if anyone wants to look up Regan Hall. And it's interesting because this is exactly what happens when you're backstage, when the teams are backstage, they're like this. So they're all next to each other with their coaches talking. Like, it's not necessarily all separate rooms and all that. So it can be, you know, you're eyeing each other up. You know, there's the fast girl from the UK team. There's the fast girl from the Spanish team.
What sort of research went into
everything?
This?
Everything. Like everything. The athletics people were involved. Team GB and all that were completely involved, so that it went all right. The only thing that we weren't allowed to do, the IOC refused to allow the film to use Olympics. So that's why we just say the worlds.
Yeah.
For some reason, they refused us to use Olympics or the Olympic rings, or that we were going to the Olympics or training for the Olympics. They just were like, nah. So we just had to
weird, because it'd be actually free promotion for the Olympics.
Well, they don't. Olympics doesn't need promotion.
Yeah,
well, you're right, though, but you know what I mean.
It would have been nice for them to allow it, though, because it's like that's what every athlete wants. But I guess we just had to do, you know, worlds. But look how good he's directed it really well. So what we had here was there was a car that would go in front of the girls, an indoor car, and sort of with the camera on the back. So, you know, it'd either follow or go in front. So you get them, you know, you get them running. And there was also another thing where they could stand on it and just move their arms. So the close-up one, really close-up one, is they're on it just doing that. But then the one in front and behind, like these, is the car going, not a car, like a quad bike kind of going around and getting the moments. See, Dominique's sitting in the stands there, not really participating that much.
Oh, for God's sake.
What's happened?
Oh no, I'm just watching the screen, the movie.
Yeah, right.
Jesus.
Up. Bad handover. And you can see that if you're watching carefully there, which you probably you could see that there was some doubles in there, running doubles, but
She screwed up big time there, didn't she?
yeah, that's all due to the hangover, though, isn't it? All due to the hangover. So they come last. Coaches annoyed.
Well, that could have gone well.
Oh, it was
That could
shit.
have gone better.
Runners in Europe, but together you're awful. Yes, it was. You win as a team, you lose as a team.
Shania called too early. She's just not up to it.
No, it wasn't just her fault. I was late. Why are you sticking up for her?
Because she ain't a stuck-up bitch like you.
Shania, shut it.
Oh, so what? It was my fault.
That's not what I said.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm not risking my chance of the medal because of her.
Hey, what did I just say?
And you dumb Tommy. I don't let Daddy call the shots right here, not you. So if Dad don't want me on the team, then fine. Fine, I'm done. I'll quit.
Shania.
Oh, shut up, Tricks, man. I ain't your little project here. Get all of you. I'm done.
that's what happens, though, isn't it?
Well, girls do fight. It happens.
Well, no, that's sexist, man. We all fight, don't we?
Well, sorry, yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
No.
Sorry for me sexism there. No, sorry, man.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I'm teasing you, man, but you know what I mean.
I know. I should be cancelled for that though. I should
100%,
really be.
You know, lose your job, everything. All your friends turn on you. It's exactly what you need for that. So obviously
yeah.
we got the sort of romance in the background, which
Yeah,
you seem to always have, and it's interesting because it's always in the sort of film like this, and then you have to kind of go, is it needed? Like, do you know what I mean? In 2022, people kind of be like, is it needed? Do you know what I mean? Whereas I don't mind a bit of romance in a film.
Melina says, evil pig of the patriarchy. That's
Yeah.
aimed at you, other Noel.
But listen,
Me.
listen to this. What's interesting about this, right? He's the physio on the team, and he's starting to form a romance with the athlete. You know what would happen to him now in 2022?
Oh yeah, he'd be cancelled.
He'd be out of a job.
Yeah, exactly.
He'd be out of a job. But this is just, it's just a romantic. I'm surprised I haven't pulled this film up as well and said that I was promoting that. But as the physio on the team, if you start having a relationship with one of your athletes, but back in 2012, we were just like, oh, have a little romantic moment in the movie that would be just nice,
Some people like a bit of romance in their sports movies. I mean, Rocky had romance.
She wasn't working with him though. This is, do you know what I mean?
True though, but there was still I mean, yeah.
I'm with you, but I'm just trying to make the point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Scottish Stavros, the legend, says, I start a fight in an empty house.
Oh, we
What a
got
legend.
comedians in the chat
What a legend.
tonight.
So you come back to the council estate, you see that they've the sister and the boyfriend have smashed up the house, and what it is like story-wise, plot-wise, you think about what happened. She's just quit the team, right?
Yeah.
She's come here, and what this is telling her really is like, you need to get out of this situation.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of the beginning of forcing her back to the team. You know what I mean? So all of these sort of plot things are things that, I guess you kind of just learn as a writer. Do you know what I mean? She's just gone, I've quit, made a big whole thing about quitting. And the first thing that happens is the boyfriend and the sister have damaged up the house. And she kind of thinks to herself, even if she doesn't articulate it, I need to get out of this environment. And now the sister's living with the boyfriend.
She could be anywhere.
But what are you lot doing at my auntie's? You nick stuff in your brains that just took me out.
Really? Bad news, babe.
Yeah, see, some people just don't. It's like this film was trying to, there was elements of the older films, but it was a light-hearted movie. This was a light-hearted movie, a
Yeah.
much more positive movie, but you can see the elements of the previous films with moments like this. It still came from that sort of environment, and it still came from, I think Jay's a very good writer. You guys will probably find Jay Basu. Jay's a very good writer, and I think it was really a case of, I think people were worried because I hadn't done a film like this before, so they wanted to team me with someone. I mean, I knew I could do it, and actually, me and Jay got on really well, so it didn't matter. But I think that was originally like, once I got the job, there was like, oh, can he do this? What if it's some sort of ghetto running film? And so, Jay came on, but Jay's great. And then, as I said, Roy Williams did a touch up and at a later date. So it was really, I guess, like the film, a team effort in the end. What's 7 degrees? Where's Cinnamon Toast? What is 7 degrees? Where is he? Her or her or they?
Yeah, everybody's talking about the weather in the chat. What's is it cold where you are? We've got a bit of a storm here in Dublin, so yeah, it's a bit cold as well. But there she is with her bags.
Yeah, because she got kicked out, right? Doesn't she? I can't remember. I haven't watched this in so long. I don't even. Oh, she goes to her original coach. She goes to her original coach, who is the great Phil Davis, isn't it? So this was the first time I worked with him, and I had no scenes with him whatsoever. Oh no, did I? No, I didn't. I didn't really have any scenes with him. And then he played my boss in Viewpoint, the ITV show, which was literally my best performance I'd ever done. So different to me. And of course, they fucked the whole show, didn't they? They pulled the last episode off air and all that kind of shit. Said I was, some sort of beast, and took it all off. Ended up putting it on IT. I don't know what they fucking did, but perpetuated this complete narrative of this guy's a evil beast, which was a shame for all the other actors and everything like that. But Phil played my boss, and that was the first time. Even though we'd worked almost 10 years previous on this movie, we didn't really meet on the movie per se. So seeing him on Viewpoint was sort of the first time that I'd worked with him.
He's a good actor.
Have main scenes with him. Yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah, he was in Doctor Who and Sherlock.
Yeah, that's right. But you know what I mean? The whole thing is like I wouldn't know what to say if I saw him now. Not because I feel like I've done things, but because I'm like, a lot of people just react a certain way after this whole thing. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of sort of acquaintances and friendships just out the window. You know what I mean?
Well, you don't know where you stand, do you? I mean, because in your industry, you meet so many people, quite rarely, but you just, in that sort of environment, everyone sort of talks to each other, don't they, as well? And don't know where you stand, and
100%.
a lot of people probably don't know where they stand either. So it just creates such an awkward.
Well, I can tell them where they fucking stand. If they ain't reached out to me by this point, they don't stand anywhere with me.
Well, that's also true.
Because it's like 19 months on, right? If you've not contacted me by this point, then you clearly. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe just some people might just feel awkward, or they've got other things going on. I don't know. It's I don't want to make any excuses.
Or there could be. This is another explanation. I mean, everybody has seen what's happened to Sophia Miles when she spoke up for Noel.
But she can speak up. They can speak up.
Fair enough. But and Sophia is able to handle herself to a certain extent. We don't know if these other people, obviously Noel would know them better than we do, but maybe they've seen what's happened to other people that have come to Noel's defense and seen the way they've been treated, and they just don't want that aggro. Now, to me, as you all know on this channel, loyalty to me is a very big thing. If you're friends with someone, when you stick by them through the good and the bad times, you don't just turn your back on them.
Yeah.
So,
I agree with that.
So, I can see where Noel's coming from, but there probably is reasons. But to me, does that justify them staying silent all that long?
No,
Well, if that was happening to me, it doesn't justify it. No,
No,
if you're
not-
friends
not-
with someone, at least ring them up privately or something and say, listen,
yeah,
I know I haven't said that publicly, but I just want to let you know if you ever need me, I'm here for you, stuff like that.
yeah.
Then you'd
And
have no problem.
there's, there is a few, which, obviously, you don't want to mention because you don't want to put them under the blast. But
Exactly.
there's a few. But there's a lot that. What's interesting, there's a lot that I expected to be cool and just weren't. People that I've stuck up for, people that I've given jobs to, people that I looked after for 10 years, people that I've literally people that I've seen. You know what I mean? Where I'm just like, mate, you got the nerve to talk about me, bro. You know what I mean?
Well, no, one good thing has come out of this. You know who your friends
Look,
are.
look. Cancellation, my man. Straight up. And witnessed, look, the coach trying to kiss an athlete.
That happened today. He'd be gone. Obviously, we were a bit more saner in 2012, and we understood things a little bit better. Now we've just gone backwards as a society, man. I don't know. We've lost the plot. We lost the plot.
You're not gonna say nothing, are you?
I got something over you now.
Well, today's society, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting, getting back to that thing about, this whole film is about being there for your team and backing them up. And even that, like, all right, we're making jokes about what would happen to him now, but even that is her backing up a teammate. Like, I'm not going to say
exactly.
anything.
It's loyalty as well, isn't it?
It's interesting because I got text Christmas Eve by an actor that literally had just turned, right? So when it all kicked off 18 months ago, I tried to have a conversation with this person and they were just like, I can't speak to you right now. I don't know what I need to process all it and disappear. Haven't contacted me for nearly 2 years. And then text me Christmas Eve, Merry Christmas. I've been staring at that fucking text for 2 weeks, thinking to myself, how am I going to respond to this?
Yeah.
And the only reason I've not ignored because I've ignored a lot of people, is because this person was tight. Do you know what I mean? And part of me wants to go, how dare you? How dare you fucking text me now? And the other part of me wants to go, why didn't you at least call me and challenge me? You could have said to me, you could have challenged me and gone, oh, all right, tell me this, this, and this. But to just literally disappear and now 2 years later text me, like, nah. Anyway,
what I would do,
but Noel, I will say this though. They okay, it's came probably too late for you, but something has changed if they've texted you Christmas Eve. Just want to.
I would say what I would do in that situation is arrange to meet them, and if they turn up, then you have it out with them. Say, look, I want to move forward. I want to be honest with you. Why did ask those questions? See what their response is, and then you can gauge.
Yeah, maybe.
What, your reaction will be from that point onwards.
Great.
That's what
Good
I would
idea.
do
Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled program, Fast Girls. So this is your classic moment in these sorts of films where even the two people that look, they all look great here. This was another dress-up day. This was the main dress-up day. I think I mistook the first day for this one. This is the day where they really got to wear what they want. And, I remember shooting this night. I don't know why, because I wasn't in shot. I wasn't on screen, but I remember being there, obviously, and them having to run down the street bare feet and just loving this day. I remember them just loving this day because this is the classic moment where even the enemies, as you see, she's getting picked on, harassed or whatever, and they all bond. This is where they bond.
Oh dear.
Like it. He's in for a nasty little surprise.
Yeah, she looks like she'll batter him.
Deodorant.
And toothpaste. Oof. Horrible, isn't it? Oh, drink over the head.
Get in the taxi, girls.
This is no, because this is the whole point, right? The taxi goes, right, and this is the amazing thing because these boys start chasing the girls, but we're forgetting they're athletes. I love this scene. Watch this scene, man. It's amazing, right? The heels come off as the boys are coming after them, and boom, they're like the 4 fastest girls. They're the fastest girls in the country. Look, they're gone. Look at this.
The lads are. Look at the lads in the background, and they're struggling already.
But it makes you think. Can you imagine if this really happened? These girls just took off, and these boys weren't able to catch them. Like, look at them out of breath.
Look at that.
I love that scene, and look how well he shot it. He shot it so well as well.
It is a nice shot, isn't it?
He shot that so well. They picked a great location for it. And this is the point where they start to bond. They start to bond, And
it's nice to see her walk a bit, the blonde one.
Yeah.
It's a good shot, London.
Yeah. He's done, and this is stock footage. I mean, nowadays you just get a drone, wouldn't you? You just get a drone and shoot your own footage. But back then there's still companies that supply a lot of that stock stuff. They will just hire drones or have their own drones, and they get permission to do all that stuff. And then when you're shooting a movie, you don't have to do it because there are libraries and libraries of stock stuff. The issue is, of course, London developed so quickly that someone might have done one last year, and then there's 4 new buildings.
Yeah.
And then everyone goes, oh, that was shot in 2022 because that building's not there, or this building's there, or whatnot. So there you go. The girls have started to, I guess, kind of bond a little bit now. She's happy. I really enjoyed this film. Yeah, go on.
Soundtrack again. Whopper soundtrack, Noel.
Well, I have to be honest with you. I wasn't involved in the soundtrack really. I kind of because I didn't direct it, I didn't get to really dig in with the music. But you're right, it is a brilliant soundtrack. And it's these moments here, like when you're seeing this montage and you get that music behind it, it really sort of G's you up, doesn't it? You're kind of like, and she's got her unorthodox training, carrying boxes, running at the road at God knows what time, because she's not technically back on the team yet. So she's training on her own. And I don't really know what that's about because you should be in a lane, not on the line, but, we can ignore it because she's just training. And there we go. He sends her back to the Worlds, So she trained with her coach, not me.
Here's trouble.
Yeah.
Well, good luck.
So she used to be in EastEnders, this actress.
Yeah, EastEnders, yeah.
Yeah, Tiana Benjamin. It's good.
It's very good in that as well. Yeah, her character was good in EastEnders, actually.
Yeah, I don't know what she's doing now. She's probably still working somewhere, but I don't know what she's doing now. But she was a nice girl as well. A woman.
Mini markets, we have them around our area as well. Same signs, kind of signs as well.
Oh, really?
That little mini market sign. Yeah, that's a very popular little sign there is. You get those little mini markets all over the UK and Ireland, especially in Dublin.
Yeah.
Good old,
do you know,
good old corner shop.
Yeah. I feel like this sort of film, this exact sort of formula are the films they make over and over in America, and they do really, really well. Bring It On. Do you ever see Bring It On, the cheerleading movie?
Yeah.
You ever seen that?
Yeah. I'm not a fan, to be quite honest with you. No, but yeah.
You don't like Bring It On, no? Oh, man.
Nah.
You don't like Bring It
I
On?
love the movie Save the Last Dance. Do you remember that movie back in the day, Save the Last Dance? That was a great movie.
Is that Julia Stiles?
Yeah.
Julia Stiles, yeah, Save the Last
Yeah,
Dance.
that
Wow,
was a
look at that.
great movie. I love that movie, man. Loved it. The end dance as well.
Did
Oh
you do
man.
it? Did you do the dance? No. Did you and your missus
Oh,
do
I
that
can't that mate. I'll admit I have 2 left feet. I can't dance. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But you know, if I go out on a night out, mate, I'll get up anyway because you know you don't care, don't you? Not, and
Cut the
nobody
shapes,
really
man. Good for
cares.
you, man. Good for
So
you.
I'll throw the
No, man,
shapes
but
anyway.
I'm telling you, you have to put on Bring It On and you got to watch it. The original one, Kirsten Dunst, Gabrielle Union, directed by Peyton Reed, who now directs superhero movies. He directed a Fantastic Four, or was gonna direct Fantastic Four, didn't work, but now directs superhero movies. I forget what he directs now exactly, but Peyton Reed directed that, and Bring It On is just like, because it was the first time cheerleading wasn't just like rah rah rah. It was all the flips and the jumps. I was like, what is this? Anyway,
No, me wife was a cheerleader. She told me it's very intense. They like to take that stuff really seriously in America as well, man. Oh my god.
Big time, man. And Bring It On was a great movie. Is it? Well, you need to. If your wife knows about it, you need to watch Bring It On.
Oh no, she does. She keeps banging on about it, man. She'd love watching that movie with you. She watches, man.
It's a
no way.
Great movie,
No.
man.
Nah, you just wouldn't want to see me dance. People in the chat saying, "Go on, give us a dance." Trust me, you just wouldn't want to see me dance.
I think we would all love to see you dance.
No, not happening. No.
Do the truffle shuffle.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, that's bullying, man. That's bullying. So this stadium,
I'm fat shaming.
Exactly. This stadium was actually, they said it's for the World Championships, but I think it was just Crystal Palace, if I'm honest with you.
I love the javelin, actually.
Yeah, javelin's good.
Javelin. Yeah. And what's the other one that they spin the ball? What's that one called?
Oh,
yeah,
discus.
I like that one as well. Yeah.
So it was good to get all of these people came on board the film to do these little cameo bits. It was like Colin Jackson. That wasn't stock footage. That was Colin came and did something. Had set these screens up. But this was just crystal. I mean, I really think now. You look at now, if you made this film and you'd want to go to the other countries. Do you know what I mean? You'd want to give it that bit more scale. But at the time, man, I love this movie. It's one of my. I'm proud of everything I've done, to be honest, but definitely this one is such a feel. Look at that. Boom. And she actually was a long jumper who was acting as opposed to the other way around.
Her dad seems to be putting her under a lot of pressure, you could say. She's got the weight of our family's history on her shoulders, the blonde one.
Yeah. Harassment.
Some people can't handle that, though. It's
yeah. Oh no, the dad I was talking about, the coach coming and whispering in her ear and stuff like that. But yeah. So here, interestingly, obviously the crowd mostly was CGI there. And what I didn't tell you, in the European thing earlier, the Spain stadium, they actually had inflatable crowd. So there was only about 50 people that were moved around and dotted. And then all the others were like literally inflatables that didn't move. But it's done so quickly and moved so fast. And the way it's shot is you can't really, you guys would never notice that unless I told you, like I've just done. Do you know what I mean? And then, shots like that, you just bunch together even here, shots like that, you bunch together your 100 people. So the crowd's full.
I've done that. I've been in a crowd shot like that.
Yeah.
And then they just replicate you.
Yeah. Boom, look at this. He shot it so well, man. Come on, Lily, run, girl, run.
Yeah.
I mean, son, so good. Like Lily's so convincing. I think she was maybe the slowest runner, but the way it's shot, you would never in real life. I mean, not in the film, but you would never tell, man. Like all of them look so smooth, and their techniques were all brilliant. But like in terms of speed, I could literally walk. She'd be sprinting, I'd be walking next to her, going, "Go on, girl." Like, you know what I mean? But Oh, fourth.
No,
So-
our dad's not happy.
No, of course not. And but you know that happens, doesn't it, with parents and football? Don't look weak. Instead of it's okay, he says.
No,
It's
but they, yeah, parents that have that competitive edge are like that, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's sad because they don't I mean, they went through themselves, so they can't see what effect. You think they would be able to see the effect that it has on their kids, but they seem to be oblivious by it.
Well, it depends on how successful they were. Do you know what I mean? Oh,
Yeah.
what's that coach up to? What's he up to there? He's not up to anything. But it depends on how successful they were. So the dad being as successful as he was, I guess that's his expectation. So he's thinking about his reputation as much as anything. Do you know what I mean? So like, don't look weak. Instead of saying it's okay, darling, don't look weak. You know. And now she's just seen the coach hug him thingy, and she's off. But actually, all he was doing was supporting her. Although, again, in 2022, that hug did look slightly inappropriate.
Yeah, so she took it the wrong way. She ran off, but all it was a comfort hug, basically.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But do you think that the blonde girl was like into him because she looked more upset when he left?
No.
I
she
think
never
she's
was.
just thinking
This
about
is-
what her dad said to her,
Yeah,
like,
since
we don't be weak.
2011. Since 2011, she's getting a comfort hug and she's accepting it. Except, you know, when you look at that scene now with 2022 eyes, the moment it came on screen, you're like, hold on a second. You know, what's happening?
Here we
So
go.
this is well, I won't spoil it, but you'll see what happens here for those that are watching. Boom. Don't you just love athletics though? This sort of stuff. You just love it.
Yeah,
I
it's
love it.
exciting. Oh, she pulled her hammy.
I love it. Hold on, I think you're ahead of me on this. I think you're a second. I think you're a second.
Yeah.
Sorry. Did I spoil it for you? Sorry.
No. Yeah, but see, so this is how Dominique comes in, who we've not seen a lot. This is how Dominique ends up coming in.
Oh, man, that is a horrible way to...
But it happens though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've played football, not professionally, but I've played a bit of football and I've done my hamstring a few times. It's bloody horrible.
Yeah, I done mine once. Was it what? Yeah, I did mine once when I was I don't know, 19 or something like that. Oh, whew. It takes so long as well to heal the ache of a hamstring, man. Do you know what I mean? To be fair, you'd probably rather take that than your quad going because you know, but the hammy, man.
Still, it's a long recovery, I can tell you, and it's
Mine took ages.
oh, man.
Even to stretch it, like when it was healed, it was just a little bit tighter than the other. Like the stretch would hit me first. You know what I mean?
The back of the leg, that's so painful.
Yeah, that's the
so
hamstring.
painful.
But
Yeah,
you know,
it's just
I
so
think
bad.
when you train for something, and that's what you've trained for 4 years, and then that
it's
happens,
gone.
man, it's gone, isn't it? And if you're lucky,
but you've put so much strain on your body though for those fights. That's the risk that you take. You know what I mean? It's the same with your ligaments can snap as well, like you even running.
Oh,
so I mean, it's that risk you do take, but it's the dedication. But you are right. You put all that hard work in, and then like you're just literally 30 seconds away from your goal, and it just
goes. And you know, if you're lucky, you get you get another chance in another 4 years. But sometimes you don't get it. You know.
No. It depends on your age as well. You know, especially if you're in your prime, you get an injury like that. I mean, as you said yourself, 4 years later, then you're 4 years past your prime.
Yeah.
So you're not the same.
Well, it depends because sometimes, you know, they manage to maintain it. I'm pretty sure Linford Christie got disqualified in one of the finals of one of the Olympics, and then the year after that he won it in 90s because he won it in 1 year, didn't he? He won the gold once. You know, after a couple of bronzes and all that back in the days. This is when we were all young. You guys were younger than me, so you probably won't remember that. But there was an American called Carl Lewis, a Canadian called Ben Johnson, who ended up taking drugs.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember them.
Yeah, I
84.
remember them. Yeah.
What 84 Olympics? Isn't it
Yeah.
Atlanta?
Carl Lewis
Wasn't
won
it?
that, yeah.
The fastest men on the planet, they were called at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they didn't even need to cheat because they were the fastest.
I know, but he
Oh.
was on the steroids, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, why cheat? You know what I mean? You put all that work in, all of that dedication, and then you just decide that you're going to take stuff to enhance yourself. That's
so.
Go ahead. Sorry, no.
Sorry, no. That coach that just said Shania back on the team, that actually wasn't me because I wasn't there. I was actually shooting Stories 24 at the same time. I think at almost exactly the same time as this movie. So I would kind of go to storage, do some days, come back. Or if it wasn't the same time, I was in prep or something. So it was around the same time. And this was the day I said I had that conversation with Lashana. This was the day we had that conversation. And I just think that, you know, this was the day that the girls really. This was a day where the girls ran as well, and they were so prepped, so jacked. Like the muscles were there, everything was ready, and this day was freezing, like freezing. I know it doesn't look it because of the sun, but it was. They were so cold.
Oh,
Coach. So this is now look, Dominique's in now. So her part wasn't massive in this movie, but it was a start, and you know she's great. Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaicans. And I think is this the Heat?
Yeah, this is the Heat now. Yeah, this is the qualifier. Yeah, they need to. I think the coach said they needed to get it top 4.
Yeah, boom. Look at that. Look, Lashana can go as well, mate. Like, of all the girls, I think her and Dominique were like, in terms of their running style, was like actual athletes. Those two were like actual athletes.
Right.
You know, the other two were great and had the technique, but you didn't, you know, Dominique and Lashana were like, bang. Do you know what I mean? Like, you didn't need any doubles or anything like that. They could go.
Noel, my friend Jack says to say hi to you from him. So he's a big supporter of yours.
Oh, thank you, mate. I appreciate that. Did we get 4th? I'm watching this film.
No, they were 1 place away.
I'm watching this film like I don't remember it.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, here we go.
Don't rub it in.
This is terrible. This is what you never want. Your own team arguing on the field. Can you imagine?
Oh no, man, that wouldn't be tolerated.
Oh my God, now, mate. Oh, can you imagine? Can you imagine?
You'd be disqualified, wouldn't
there'd be reviews for months. They'd be thrown off the team.
Oh, the French apparently got disqualified, so that means the Brits go through. So there you go.
There we go.
So that's how you got through.
Back in it.
Even though they should be disqualified for that.
I wonder what it's interesting though, isn't it? A British movie and the French are the ones that get disqualified.
Can't say I did that on purpose.
That's racist, Noel. That's racist. That's Frankist.
So here's the dad trying to get her thrown out the team.
Pulling strings.
Yeah.
So she's off the team or unfinished. Is that what you're saying? We're not saying anything. What's your conscience saying?
Get out of my fucking space.
It's the thing with these films, you know, you have to. This is the point where you have to you know, they've just got, again, it's all about the moments. We just qualified now. We thought we were out and then we qualified. So like, oh great, they've qualified. And even you were like, oh, you're through. And then you take it away again. So now she's off because of the fight, and now she's off. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I love doing stuff like that as a writer. You know, turning characters like an adult to people you hate to people you love, and just giving you those moments like, okay, they've just made friends. Then they don't get through. Oh, you're annoyed. Then they have a fight, but they qualify, yay! And then boom, you take it away again. It just builds up tension. And look, he's directed it. Regan directed it very well. I can't really knock the performances of the girls either. Like all the women are fantastic in this, I think. You know.
Yeah.
I hope, regardless of how big stars they are now, I hope that they still can be proud of this film. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
And I hope, well, you never know, you know, I hope that, you know, my thing doesn't tarnish it for them or whatever. It shouldn't, because, you know, I got on with all of them and was in touch with most of them even a couple of years back. But, you know, you just never know how people react after things, you know.
Well, things will sort themselves eventually, and all this finally reveals itself for what it actually is.
Wow. Yeah.
But,
I think it's pretty clear now, isn't it? I wouldn't be sitting here, would I? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do firsthand.
Yeah. So you're getting nice emotional scene here.
I mean, they don't want me here. This one wants to crawl back to wherever I come from.
So all the girls, there was no offers on this film. I think apart from me, everyone had to audition for their role, whatever. I don't think, or maybe Phil Davis was also offered his role, but generally everyone came in and auditioned.
What am I supposed to do? He's not exactly going to return my call.
No one at the time was that big a star that they could just be given the movie. Do you know what I mean?
Springboard, though.
I believe so. It's interesting because I think sometimes people don't always think that jobs are springboards. They just go from job to job to job, and then at some point they pop, and they don't always attribute the pop to the steps. They just think, oh man, yeah, eventually I got that. Do you know what I mean? And they don't always attribute the pop to the steps, and I think that's foolhardy. And you know, I think that every step you take, every film, every project you do, whether they work for you and they're great, or whether they don't work for you, because I've done a few when I look back and go, well, actually that wasn't that great. But
if you're grounded,
they're stepping stones.
If you're grounded, you will always acknowledge your roots. You know, you'll always acknowledge where you came from and what you did to get there, because you have to take pride in the work that you put in to get where you are.
Yeah.
And I think so. That, you know, people who don't acknowledge that are, you know,
well,
maybe need to learn a lesson of humility. You know?
I agree, but acting's a very odd thing. You know, you get a lot of actors that, you know, they don't want to watch the thing they've done. Oh my God, I can't watch it. I can't. And I don't get that. You wouldn't paint a painting as an artist and then never look at the fucking painting you painted.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know many artists that would paint a painting and then never look at it again. So I kind of just don't get the pretentiousness of like, oh, I can't watch myself. You're not watching yourself. You're watching the fucking thing you've created and the character that you've portrayed. And if you see the mistakes that you've made in there and they make you cringe, hold it. Don't make those mistakes again. You don't have to tell anyone, oh my God, I'm terrible in this moment. Please don't watch it. Because actually all you're doing is trying to get attention for yourself. Do you know what I mean? I think I always watched everything I did to learn from it. You know?
Well, yeah, I think you have to at that point, really.
Like weirdly, I think this is I love this performance because at the time, you think about the time, 2012, the way I was perceived and the stuff I'd done, unless you'd seen Doctor Who and knew that I could do different performances, most people thought I was some sort of street thug, right? And the people that watched my films didn't necessarily watch Doctor Who, so they never saw me do anything different. So this performance at the time, as this coach was, you know, even watching it now, I look back at it, I really love it because it's actually very different to anything I had played at the time.
Yeah.
And it's quite different to me. If you know me, if anyone who knows me, is quite different to me as well. You know, and you know, much like the Viewpoint stuff was, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know, you have to show a range, don't you?
You'd be surprised how many people get through without any fucking range, mate.
Well, that's true. Playing the same thing over and over and over again. Yeah, like
so
typecast.
So here, they've taken it upon themselves to make friends, and now they are secretly practicing the down pass instead of the handover. They're practicing the smooth down pass that I've told them not to do because it's too tricky and only the Americans do it. But this is the classic team bonding moment.
Yeah.
Or the two enemies bonding. And here we get the key moment.
Can't get the marks right. But it's irrelevant anyway because you're faster than me.
Boom. Admission.
So let's swap it around. What? Fastest runs anchor, right?
So that's where, you know, her dad would never want her to do it, but now she's really offering the peace sign by going, actually, you're faster. Why don't we swap it around and you go last? And let's see if we can get the down pass. So the point of this was not really to have an antagonist. Like, you didn't really, well, there was an antagonist, but not to have an enemy, a bad guy. Do you know what I mean?
And now the blonde one seems more ease now as well.
Yeah.
With herself.
Yeah.
But that wasn't a down pass.
No, that wasn't a down pass. That was an up pass. I'm like so baffled about which one it is. I'm sure it's the one of them's the quicker one.
Yeah.
No, here we go.
God, you just want to punch him, don't you?
Yeah. A lot of parents like that, though, isn't there?
Yeah. Go on, take that broomstick out your ass.
Is this nose?
No, it's not. We practiced last night and we're really good.
But don't be ridiculous, Lisa. She's banned.
Yes, I know, but she's the fastest. We need her.
Are you faster than her?
No, I'm not.
She's a liability. She's out of control.
You got Tommy to take her off the team.
You're better off with us.
So I'm asking you to put her back on.
I'm just trying to do my best for you.
Yeah, then put her on the team.
This is our last chance.
It's good, though, isn't it? I'm watching
Yeah.
Lily there. And you can see, like, the movie star potential there. Like, look, you can just see it.
It's mine, not yours.
You know, there's no, you know, when she became Cinderella and went on, like, I wasn't surprised at all, you know, because you can see it right there.
So now we can't have any distractions or fights.
She just played Pamela Anderson. I didn't see that. If you guys watched that, I didn't see it. But
No, I didn't watch it myself, man.
I have spent my whole life trying to please you. This is my time now.
boom, Dad gets told, take your fucking medal back.
That either you bring Shania back or I quit.
Yeah, there's loyalty for you, mate.
No, I mean it.
Yeah, she'll quit if.
Oh, you think of me anymore. Win or lose, I am running this race on my own terms, not yours.
Hey, good movie, this, mate. That, you know, sometimes you kind of you forget, like, you know, what work you've done, and you know, sometimes you know. But I enjoy this. I think it's a real feel good movie for, and I think hopefully a lot of young athletes were, or a lot of young women were inspired by it. You know, I know they were at the time when it came out, and people do whenever it's on, people do say, "Oh, I love this film," you know, but I think it's one maybe they bring on at certain times. You know, when there's athletics coming up or whatever, they shove it on.
TV sport. I love that on the screen of the TV.
Yeah. Here we go, the final. This is the bit that always nearly makes me cry, mate. It's coming up here when the music kicks in. I think when they're on the last leg.
Boom.
On the last leg, it kind of just gets me all the time.
Right. The crowd is looking intense.
Here we go. Here we go. So again, like a lot of CGI crowd in there, and you know, you bunch up the people for the real shots. And another freezing day that they've fixed in the grade. The grade being the sort of Instagram filters that we put onto the films after they've shot. So you improve the raw camera footage, and you know, making it look warmer in the grade than it actually was. Is what they do, and what they've done. Say, look, the directors kick the music in here now. Like you just start to get that feeling of like, come on, girls, you know. It's this. I can feel my body's tingling now. Like it's this last moment, which I won't spoil. But when they get there, I'm just like, oh man, all the time. Because he's really built up this. Look, it's amazing, isn't it?
It's the feel-good factor coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all that sort of like those little moments where you're looking at the other athletes. Look, she's prepped. Dominique's ready. The music, it's the music in it as well.
Yeah.
Coach watching.
Always works. There we go.
There goes Dominique, back leg. Everyone watching, mom, everyone.
Perfect.
There goes Lily.
There we go. Perfect handoff.
Yeah. Perfect handoff. Americans are there. Here we go. No, it is. They are going to do the. So all the others have done the up pass. I think this is. They are going to do the down one here. And the coach is panicking. Like I'm panicking. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Boom. There they go.
Oh.
Look, she's going for the down pass. No. Here, this is the bit that always gets me. There. All the time. I can feel it now. Like, always gets me, man.
Goosebumps. Yeah.
Yeah, always. Because I'm like, they're not going to do it. And then they did it.
Come on, sprint.
Second. Oof. Tight.
Come on, Britain. Hey.
Yeah.
Tight.
Hey.
I can feel the tears welling up. I can feel the tears welling up, and I don't know why. Of every single film I've done, that's the only one that gets me at the ever gets
Oh.
at any point. It's such a feel good moment, you know. Even the sister.
And of course,
look at Snaky Dad, right? Snake, look. She calls her mum now.
Oh. And of course, Britain a year later got all those golds
Yeah.
in the Olympics.
Yeah,
as well.
you did. I have to give it to you, man.
No, but you know, interestingly, this came out in 2012, even though it was 2011. Oh, mate,
Yeah.
everyone's getting fired now. This came out 2012, actually. Came out 2012.
Yeah, you did well in the Olympics. I have to say, in 2012, you put on quite a show as well.
Yeah.
You were up for that Olympics. I have to give it to you.
Well, whenever the countries are hosting, they make sure, don't they? They make sure that they put it out of the bag.
But the whole country got behind the athletes.
Yeah, they did.
It really unified the whole country, actually.
Oh yeah, remember that when everything was nice?
Yeah. And now look at it. Everybody wants to be divided and stuff. I
love this film, man. I really love this film. I think the girls did brilliant. The director done a great job. I wouldn't have maybe. Would I have ended like that? I don't know. I think maybe, but I just think it's enjoyable movie, mate. It's just one of those ones where it's not. There's no sort of political agenda. It's just like a feel-good film. You know what I mean? With a bit of an edge, because the stuff I did and do has an edge. You know what I mean? So, really enjoyed that, mate.
Yeah, really it's a good movie, man. And the old newspaper headlines there. There's a little cut scenes, folks. So watch.
Yeah, keep watching. They start popping up. Oh, there's old coach loves it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Daily Star.
Yeah, the Daily Star. I know, yeah. I've seen that. I actually bought the Star. I think it's called the Daily Star over here. I actually bought the Daily Star. I got a newspaper I did because I just wanted it for the TV guide.
Yeah, of course you did. The TV guide, yeah?
The TV guide. Yes, TV guide. No.
Yeah.
It was for the TV guide. And the puzzles. I like the puzzles on it.
The Sudoku, The Sudoku, yeah. Of course.
The Sudoku, yeah.
Oh, cheers, man. Scottish legend says it's a great little film. Yeah, did the Irish finish last? I don't know.
Yeah, don't be slagging me off, right? We're a small country, okay? We always punch above our weight anyway. Don't be slagging us off. But I will say, in recent years, anytime we have won a gold medal, there's always been some sort of scandal behind it for some weird reason.
Really?
Yeah. We say the Irish just seem to have a problem winning gold medals legit.
Well, I just think is what it is. Every time there's success or something, somebody tries to ruin it. That's just standard.
I agree. It does ruin it because
Linford the dog, Otto.
What?
Linford the dog, Otto.
I don't remember. Sorry, I was just looking at the crew there. Some of the crew there. I was just looking at some of the crew people I remember and I know. I was like, actually, I didn't remember that so-and-so was on it. So the editor of Adulthood was an additional editor on this, and then there was other crew members that worked. It's another thing I did a lot when I was young and naive was I tried to. Oh, that's interesting. Some names on here. I'm now starting to wonder. Another thing I did was I always tried to bring the same crew. Like you're seeing a lot of my early work, it's the same costume designer, same this, same that. Because again, I was trying to build a team, I was trying to build a team to go all the way. But what you find is when people don't have that, you see what you're talking about, this loyalty thing, and this when other people don't have the mentality, it doesn't work. You can be as team as much of a team player as you want. If other people don't want to play on your team, it all falls apart. You know what I mean? And I think when I was younger, I had sort of this naive kind of belief that
idealism.
Yeah, we can all rise together. And actually, people just go, I'm going to rise with you as much as I want. And when I get a better opportunity, I'm going to fuck off. That's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're thinking
It's
that
all
while
about
you're
me.
thinking, yeah, excuse me, yeah. And so, you know, as Cinnamon says here now, it's just, I don't give a fuck who's on it, man. I just want good people and just to tell good stories. And I think Fast Girls, as simple as it is, as formulaic as it is, you know, you look at Kidulthood and those things, and they're a bit more gritty, they're a bit more complex. You know, the characters are a lot more kind of nuanced. This was kind of, it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? It's just kind of is what it is, isn't it? It's a good, feel-good film and done, you know? And
you need those type of movies down, those kind of underdog movies, because they do inspire a lot of people. You know, because there'll be people in their everyday lives told that they're useless and no good.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
and stuff like that can inspire them. So I'm all for it, man. That's why I love the Rocky franchise. You know, that's what we grew up with. Was Rocky, like that underdog story, and that's why we've always rooted for Rocky and Sylvester Stallone. It's just like
100%.
because we love it, man. We love it. Yeah,
that
was a great movie. Great little
have
movie.
you ever seen it before?
Fast Girls? No, that was the first time I'd seen that one. I'm not going to lie to you. No,
You don't have to. I think I'm glad that you kind of could watch it for the first time. And
that's why I wasn't saying that much. I was actually watching the movie. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
Lashana Lynch sung a song in this as well.
I didn't know. Maybe she does some lyrics and something like that. I'm just looking at certain names on here. There's a few names on here. I'm like, you motherfuckers, man. There's a couple of names. The lawyers that helped the lawyers that helped us, and now the lawyer and repped me so many times, and now the lawyers at the fucking newspaper are using when I'm going after them. So I'm just like, how can you do that, man? Do you know what I mean? I know people in your office, but they don't give a fuck, man. When the money's there, like they just snake you for whatever. Boom. Thank you, guys. I hope everyone enjoyed that. You know what I mean? I enjoyed talking with you again.
I put a message in the private chat if you want to read it there. You don't say anything out loud, but I just asked you a question.
Yeah, I see it. Well, we'll talk when we come off.
We'll talk when we go off here. So look, folks, we will leave it there unless anybody has any quick questions. But I think everybody was throwing questions in anyway. But anything else to add? No. I think we're all good here.
Guys.
Yeah, and as I said, all the links to his social medias are in the link description of this stream. And also, if you want to rewatch the movie, or if you haven't watched the movie, it's there to rent as well. The links are there also. Noel, is there anything else you'd like to add? Anything else that I've missed? Any other stuff you want to throw out there?
No, just thank you so much. Like, I don't do much. I just chill now with my kids and all that. So to talk about the films that I've done is just a bit of fun, really. Do you know what I mean? And so, thanks for having me.
Nah, not a bother. It's always a pleasure, man. Love it, I have to say. I do. Right, folks, we will leave it there, which is all right. So don't forget to like, share. Don't forget to share the stream because they're, as I said, they're really fascinating. So go and share them, and don't forget to hit that like button. And we will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in. See you, folks. Have a good one.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.